Glute bridges next. A lot of you guys have already done your dead bugs. Glute bridges next. You can have your arms down by your side, or you can just have them on your chest or wherever feels comfortable. But let's drive through the heels. Your toes should almost be coming off the ground. Drive through the heels, squeeze those glutes up as tight as you can. Hold for a quick second and come back down. Same thing here, going for about 20 to 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. Focus on really warming up those glutes. Also getting our core involved here, so make sure you're bracing at the top, squeezing your core as tight as you can. Go a few more. Good. Next up, we're going to move to, I don't know the proper name for this. I think we're calling them reach unders or reach throughs, but essentially we're going to start in basically quadruped position, and we're going to take our one arm and we're going to pass it through. And once we pass it through, I want you to lean onto that shoulder and try to take that hand as far away from you as possible through your chest and lean into it a bit. You should feel the stretch into your back. You can almost roll over onto that arm and feel a nice stretch into that back. Hold for another 5. And we're going to switch to the other side. Bring that arm up, swing it through, go as far through as you can. Lay down onto that arm. Some good deep breaths. Switch. We're going to go one more time on either arm. Good deep breaths, a few more. Switch sides, last arm. Reach on through. And relax. Now we're going to do a little bit of cat-cow here. For those of you who are not familiar, we're going to start kind of quadruped position, knees on the ground. We're going to bring our our belly down into our cow position. And then if you've ever seen a cat, which I hope most of you have, we're going to bring our back up and extend up as much as possible. Relax back down. And the whole time we're doing this, I want you to take big, big, big deep breaths. As we're in the bottom here, you can almost inhale into your diaphragm like we do our diaphragm breathing. And at the top, exhale it all up. Squeeze all the way up as much as you can. Let's do a few more here. Good. We're going to go into our break dancers. I think we also call this one the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dance sometimes. So essentially, we got hands on the ground. We can almost be in quadruped position, but maybe a little farther out with our knees. We don't want to be all the way out into a tall plank. We want to have our legs a little closer to us. We're going to bring up one leg, almost as if we were doing what those are called, sprinter stretch. And then we're going to swing the leg through. Come back, do the other side, swing the leg through. bring the leg up, swing the other one through, and back. Let's keep going back and forth there. Good, good, good. Awesome. Keep going. Let's go a few more here. Oh. All right. Sorry, I got a little sip of my coffee there. We're going to finish with inchworms. We're just going to do a couple here. Get a little stretch in the hamstring. So come on down, almost touch your toes. Then we're going to walk those hands out. Once we get down to the bottom here, I want you to just do 2 shoulder taps per side. Nice and easy. And let's walk back up. We're going to do 3 of those. Super quick here. Walk down. Couple shoulder taps per side. Try to keep that core super stable. Walk those hands back in. Last one more. Down to the bottom. Shoulder tap. And walk your feet back up. All right. Once you get back up here, so the way today's gonna work, we're gonna do, I think we got 6 exercises. We're gonna do 4 sets of each, about a 45-second to a minute rest in between. And we got a finishing section of 45 on and 15 off for another 6 exercises. And then if we have a little extra time, we might add in a little core finisher to give a little extra challenge, because we always want the finisher. We saw Performance Center members always do. Let's see here. Let me bring up a little stopwatch here. That way I can track us. All right. First exercise is going to be push-ups. With our push-ups, you guys know I'm always hounding keeping your head up. Always got to remember that. Almost pick a spot about 2, 3, 4 feet in front of you to look at the whole time. That way you can't really drop your head because you're forcing yourself to look at that spot in front of you. Make sure your hips stay up. You want to be in a perfect plank. Once your hips stop dropping or start dropping, I want you to drop to your knees and finish your push-ups there. We do not need to force ugly push-ups when we can get really good ones on our knees and accomplish the same goal. So we're gonna do 10 to 15. I'm gonna let you decide what works for you, and then we're gonna rest 1 minute after that, all right? So let's go for it. 10 push-ups or 15, anywhere in between. It's up to you. Try to keep that head up. Try to look about 3, 4 feet in front of you. Nice solid tempo here. Don't go too fast and don't go too slow. All right, I'm gonna start a little timer here. Give it a rest. Let's shake it out. So we're gonna have a little more rest than we're probably used to today, but we're gonna focus a lot more on getting some strength. And I know it's tough because we don't have weights, or most of us don't have weights at home. So it's tough to get strength. So we're gonna do a little more rest, a little less cardio today. If you guys have any questions that you'd like me to answer, throw them in the chat. And that way we can kind of, at least I can communicate back and forth. And it can't feel like we're all just sitting in our living rooms watching each other. That's not fun. All right, let's wait another 10 seconds here. And maybe you started off at 15 push-ups, and because of we're kind of going low rest, maybe it's 10 push-ups next time. Maybe it goes down to about 8 or even 5. That's okay. But make sure you know your limit. All right, let's go for it again. Aim for 10. If you can do 15, great. If you can only do 6, that's also fine. Do what you can. If you hit your limit, drop to your knees. Nothing wrong with some knee push-ups. Keep that core tight the whole time. Breathe out at the top and on the way down. All right, I'm gonna start this timer here again. Rest another about 45 seconds. Let me make sure I didn't leave anyone in the waiting room. I'd feel really bad. All right, I think we're good here. All right, another 10 seconds here. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go for it. Core tight, whole time. Good, good, good. All right, start this timer up. I think we've got one more set here, huh? Shake those wrists out. Those wrists might be hurting, at least mine are. All right, 10 seconds. Got one more here. 3, 2, and 1. Last one, 10 to 15. Drop to your knees if you need to. Always rather get really good quality reps from your knees than really bad ones from your toes. All right, shake it out. Next up here, we're gonna have, so what we call towel rows, which if you have a towel nearby to use, maybe like a small towel, like a kitchen towel almost, or here I got kind of like a caddy towel for golf. If you have a towel like this, great. If not, no worries. So I'll give you guys a few seconds if you got one close by to go check it out. We're gonna be doing what we call towel rows. Give you a second here. If you do not have a towel, perfectly okay. The way it's gonna work is we're gonna be lying down, kind of completely flat in the prone position, arms out in front. And all we're gonna do with this towel is have pressure with your arms pulling that towel out as we pull in. So almost think of it as like a pull-up, and this is the bar that you're holding on to, where you're trying to pull out as much as you can. Hold your chest up, almost like you're doing a Superman, and then we're gonna row into our chest. And I want you to focus on squeezing your back as tight as you can the whole time. All right, we're gonna get going here in about 10 seconds. Give you guys a last quick second if you don't have a towel. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Same thing, we're gonna go 10 to 15. A little bit easier of an exercise in the grand scheme of things. So you might be able to just do 15. Squeeze out, squeeze those shoulder blades together and all the way back down. Squeeze, 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 and out. I'll get sideways here. All the way out. Bring that chest up. Squeeze in tight and all the way back out. Same thing without a towel. You just don't have an extra bit of resistance, but there's no harm really. Not too much you're missing out on. And back out. A couple more. Squeeze those shoulder blades together as tight as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. All right. Set the timer up. Rest a little bit more. I want you to focus on taking, get a little closer to the camera so you can see me, a little closer. I want you to focus on bringing your shoulders back. As you bring that chest up on the ground and you're pulling that towel in, try to roll your shoulders back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Almost try to have your elbows meet behind your back. Want to squeeze that back as tight as we can the whole time. All right. Let's go about 15 more seconds of rest. Shake it out. All right, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that chest up. Squeeze as tight as you can. All the way back out. Bring those shoulders back. Try to touch those elbows together behind your back and back down. Now, especially if you have low back issues, low back pain, as most of us do, a lot of us do, I do not want you to extend too far in the lower back. Right now, we're really just bringing our chest and shoulders off the ground and then pulling in. Don't focus too much on arching that lower back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Make sure you're actively having that pressure pulling out. If you do have a towel, and if you don't, just try to focus on squeezing that back as tight as you can. Good. Last one. And relax. All right. Rest a little bit more. Hope you can start to feel that blood flowing in your back. The back is probably the toughest body part to kind of take into account at home with no equipment. We're going to do our best today. Got some different exercises you probably haven't done because most likely we have access to weights at the gym. All right, another 20 seconds. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Go for it. Shoulders up, row, 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 all the way back. Squeeze those elbows together and back down. If you're focusing on your breathing, we're going to breathe in on the way out and breathe out on the way in. Good, should be about there. Can't see all of you. I got a couple of you. Start this timer. You got one more, huh? All right, 20 more seconds. Another 10 seconds. All right. One more time here. Start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. Reach all the way out. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and back out. Breathe out on the way in, and in on the way out. Focus on squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those elbows. Actively pull outwards with your hands. Try to actively think about how much stronger your back's getting. Think about that contraction. That mind-muscle connection is something we're always shooting for. Good. All right. Next up here, we got shoulder push-ups, also known as pike push-ups at times. Try to get a little closer here so you can get a better understanding. So we're going to be, think about your normal push-up position, hands out in front of you or under you, kind of full plank with your body. But we're going to walk our feet in a little bit. We're almost going to be in a, I guess this is our pike position. And all we're going to do is we're going to try to get our head to hit the ground right in between our hands. Now it's not going to hit all the way down for most of us because it is quite challenging, and it's going to get a lot more of our shoulders than it is our chest. So we're going to be more triceps and shoulders here, more in the pike position. And all you're going to do is bend at the elbows, come down, and try to touch that head right in between your hands. We're going to go 10 to 15 here, same thing. If you are having trouble with these in general, you can also do them up against the wall. I don't have much wall space here, but you can do them against the wall by putting your hands, your head in between your hands on the wall. Same thing. All right, so we're gonna go 10 to 15, starting in 3, 2, 1, go for it. And the more you give yourself a pike, the more you're gonna get into them shoulders. Go as low as you can. If you only have a little bit of bend in your elbows, that's fine. If that's your limit, that's your limit. No need to force yourself down. Good. Let's get 45 seconds of rest. Trying to get that upper body. I like your holy burn comment. That's how I feel the same way. It's tough to get upper body at home sometimes. It's very, very easy to burn our legs and our core. So doing our best to get our upper body here. Another 15 seconds here. All right, let's go for it. Pike push-ups, 10 to 15. Do your best in terms of how deep you can go. Try to touch that head to the ground. Try to get those feet as close to your hands and go from there. Do the best you can, 10 to 15. Focusing on your breathing. You go in on the way down and out on the way up. Good, and rest. Start this timer. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. If you have resistance bands, you should have done that instead of the towel row. That's my bad. I forget that most people probably have more resistance bands than they do free weights. All right, let's wait another 20 seconds here. Hopefully you're feeling this in your shoulders. If you're not, you might just need to increase your angle a little bit. If you're feeling it too much in your chest, you might be a little at too low of an angle. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Pike push-ups. Good, let's rest another little bit here. Missy, you've been my co-coach. 1 or 2 more? 1, 2? Okay. No, 1 more. I don't know either. I've lost it. All right. Wait another 10 here. All right. Pike push-ups. 1 more time here. Into those shoulders. All right, we're gonna do 1 more quick little back exercise, just kind of round it out, 2 of each. This one is also a new one for y'all. We're doing what we call elbow rows. I don't know if we call it that. I call it that. You're gonna be on your back here. Get a little closer so you can kind of see. I know the lighting's bad. On your back, elbows at your sides. And from there, without using your hips and without using your feet, we're going to lift our back. Some people call these supine push-ups, kind of a similar thing. All you're doing is trying to get all of that weight onto your elbows. You do not want to be pressing up with your hips or your feet. Use those elbows to squeeze that back up. You're gonna hold for a little quick second there and back down. Does that kind of make sense? If it doesn't, you can say no or whatnot. I think we're all gonna get that though. So we're going for 10 here. No need to do 15. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Go for it. Squeeze that back as tight as you can and back down. All of that momentum, all of that strength should be coming from your elbows. You should feel it all across your back there. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Same thing here, out on the way up, in on the way down with your breath. We'll start that timer up. Another 20 seconds. All right. Let's get into it again. Same thing, make sure you're squeezing those elbows back as tight as you can. Going for 10 again. Squeeze, 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 and relax back down. Try not to drop back down to the ground too fast. Try to control yourself down. Don't let gravity win and pull you back down super quick. Ease yourself back to the ground. Good. Rest again. All right. Another 30 seconds here. Now, I just realized not too long ago, beating right before class, these classes are supposed to finish at 7:10, or at least that's what it said on the schedule. If you guys have to leave right now, I totally understand. But I had planned this workout out for a little bit longer, so we got a little bit more, kind of more core-based and upper body-based after this. So if you got the time, please stick around. I'm going to continue coaching a little more. All right, let's go one more set here, and then we'll move on. One more set. Elbow rows, 10 of them. Go for it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Feel those shoulder blades fighting to get closer together. All right, here we go. We're gonna move on kind of into our next section here. I'll shorten up the time a little bit too. So we're gonna do 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And I will explain the first two exercises now, and then I'll explain two as we go, kind of to make it quicker here. First one is gonna be an upward plank with leg lifts. So I want you to have your hands or your fingers facing your butt. We're gonna be up and almost, we call it upward plank, and we're gonna go leg lifts from here. I want slight bend in the elbows, which is gonna kind of increase the tension on your triceps. If your lower back, or if your core is starting to drop, you're gonna start feeling it a lot in your lower back in a not very good way. So in that case, we're gonna bring our feet a little bit closer, and then we're gonna do the same thing from there. So I want you to try to start out with your feet all the way out, core up, slight bend in those elbows, leg lifts. We're gonna go 30 seconds here. If that's getting challenging, bring your legs closer to you. Start the timer. Second one, bicycle crunches. You guys know those. I prefer them done both legs out. Only bring one in at a time. Kind of slows your momentum. You can do them either way you like. All right, upward plank and bicycle crunches. 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Just one time each exercise. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Try to get those feet all the way out. Do your best. Hands facing your butt. Leg lift up. Keep that core up at all costs. Once it starts to drop, bring those feet closer. Keep that core braced. Stay focused. Good. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bicycle crunches next, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bicycle crunches. Try to get that elbow and that armpit up towards that knee. That's where we're going to get our big contraction. That's where we're going to get all of our core engagement. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Core tight, core tight. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Next 2 exercises here are going to be an inchworm with shoulder taps. So we're going to get that same thing as we started with. We're going to go 30 seconds here. So we're going to walk our hands out, and then we're going to do 6 shoulder taps total. So 3 on either side. Next exercise is going to be a side crunch. So we're laying on our side here, feet up, and we're almost just trying to touch our knee to our elbow. What I want you to try to do is try not to use too much of your arm pushing off the ground. Try to use all of your core to get up there. If you need to use your arm a little bit to get you up there, perfectly fine. So let's go those 2, starting with the inchworms, 30 seconds on, 10 off. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Starting with inchworms, walk those hands out. Try to control your body. Try not to let your hips move too much on these shoulder taps. 6 total, and then walk your feet, or walk your hands back into your feet and back down. Last one, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next one is going to be the side crunches. I'm going to yell halfway. That way you can flip over to the other side. Let's go for it. Side crunch, knee to elbow. Feel the core, feel your obliques. That's where we're feeling most of this exercise. If you do not feel your obliques, then I want you to go a little bit more towards your back and then squeeze in that way. All right, halfway switch. Switch sides. I know I'm just facing away from the camera now. You can tell that I'm not a professional at this. 5 seconds. And rest. Good. Last 2 exercises we got here are plank push-ups and regular plank. So plank push-ups, we're down in our plank, and we're going to switch which arm we start with each time. We're going to come up to the top and back down. Try not to move the hips too much. They're going to rock back and forth a little bit. Nothing we can really do about that. Just try to mitigate that movement in the hips, and that's going to be our kind of core activation there. Is just trying to keep it from moving. All right, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, plank push-ups, and then regular plank. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Try to switch which arm you start with each time. Keep that core tight. Don't let those hips drop. Keep going. Triceps should be burning a little bit. Feeling your shoulders. Keep pushing through it. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. 10-second rest. We got regular low plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that plank. Keep those hips up. Stay focused. Once those hips start to dropping, you can go to your knees. Perfectly fine. Try to stay on those toes the whole time. If you want an extra challenge, extend those feet out a little further. Feel nice extra bit of core activation here. Let's go 10 seconds. Keep that core tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right. Good work, everybody. I will throw this workout up. It'll be on YouTube later if you feel like doing it again, or if you just want to know what we're doing. That way you can kind of work it into your own workouts at home. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a good back workout as much as a chest workout. I know it's hard to get our upper body in this time, but we're doing the best we can. Keep reaching out to trainers, coaches, whatever. We're all trying to help. If you have any questions, we'll do the best we can to help you. I appreciate you guys coming. I know this is strange, but I really do appreciate you guys.